Welcome, Gunrunner.
Hello everybody, back with a new video, but as you can already see, this is just going to be a little look at the new retro Bookazine from Games TM. For those that don't know, what this is basically a compilation of all the retro related articles from Games TM over a certain period of time. I'm not quite sure if it's in sort of any kind of date order or whether they just pick and choose. I'm not actually sure whether they do it that way or the other way. But anyway, it's really nice because for those who don't buy Games TM like myself, because I'm not massively into my modern gaming enough to make it worth me buying it, to be honest. I tend to only buy the odd game here and there if it's something I really want. So, but it's still a very nice magazine, and their retro content is very good. A lot of the people who write the retro content in Games TM also work on Retro Gamer, so you'll find the same sort of high quality of coverage as you would expect from Retro Gamer. And yeah, and this is volume 8, so let's have a look at what we've got included in it. First of all, really striking cover. I absolutely love the artwork on that cover, so that's always a really good start. So just flip through the beginning part. Has a nice overview showing that it has all sorts of different things like guides, articles, behind the scenes, interviews, all sorts of other articles in there as well. It starts off with a look at the God of War games. In my opinion, not even slightly retro at all, but I guess that's a matter of opinion, but to me, they're not even slightly retro yet. A guide to Metroid. Classic Nintendo franchise. Not a game for me, but I know many people like it. Go right through to the modern ones and other games that will like it. Why I Love Gradius. Great interview here with Kenji Kano, the guy who made Crazy Taxi, which I think is an absolutely fabulous game. One of Sega's greatest moments, especially the Dreamcast version. Still pretty much the only game I play on the Dreamcast, to be honest. Look at Mortal Kombat. Going right through to the modern day games. Treasure Hunter. The first gaming firsts. I really like this article because not only did it go into the first things like Space War and Tennis for Two and stuff like that, and the Magnavox Odyssey, of course, the first home console, but it also debunked. Also goes into debunking some rumours as well about things that weren't first that people commonly think are. For example, Pong, people thinking that the Nintendo 64 was the first system to have analog controllers and also 4 controller ports and things like that. Obviously, none of these things are true. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, again, a game that I wouldn't consider retro, but I think with Games TM you are going to get a little bit more of a crossover because it is more of a modern gaming magazine, so it's kind of to be expected, to be honest. Jane Jansen, Gabriel Knight Adventure Games, not something I'm familiar with at all, to be honest. Again, I think it looks like something that's bordering on the retro. Great article on Jurassic Park, which is nice timing, obviously, with the new, well, fairly recent Jurassic World movie. Goes through all the different games, interviews with people who worked on those games. I really like the Jurassic Park arcade game. It's featured in that article. That's one definitely worth mentioning. I played that loads in Southend recently. Behind the scenes of Wipeout, another classic franchise. Interesting one for the Atari fans. An article about the dig to find the ET cartridges. It kind of finally debunked all the myths, and then a nice thing here about other gaming myths that have been debunked as well. A little bit about pirates. Legend of Zelda, Time Bandits, games that travel in time. We had a lovely interview with the Pickford brothers, who were right there doing, from the early days of doing 8-bit budget games, like Zub and stuff like that. right through to 16-bit years with stuff like Plock, and they're still in the games industry today, so that's a really nice interview. So let's see. Guide to the Final Fantasy games. Not a franchise that I'm even slightly interested in, it has to be said, but I know many people are, so I'm sure that will please a lot of people. Gran Turismo, though I'm not a huge fan of the PS1, I do think that Gran Turismo was a great game. Probably doesn't hold up so well today when you put it up against stuff like Forza, but for its time it's pretty groundbreaking. I've got many happy memories of playing that actually, on my friends' consoles especially. Another one it went down well, will go down well with Atari fans and went down well with me, was this great interview with Jason and Chris Kingsley from Rebellion. Talk about lots of things, including obviously the Jaguar version of Alien vs Predator, which is probably one of the things they're most famous for. RuneScape, another game that doesn't seem particularly retro to me, but I'll take their word for it. Sonic the Hedgehog. Guide to Blizzard, the developer, who go right back to the early 90s with stuff like RPM Racing, Lost Vikings, Rock and Roll Racing, all those things, right through to their modern day stuff. Big article on Tomb Raider. Never a fan of the game myself, but it was definitely a big game changer in the history of business. Rise and Fall of Neversoft. Not a company I'm particularly aware of. It seems like most of their stuff was pretty recent, which is probably why. I love Jetpack, classic there. Medieval. Coding back the years, another great interview that will really please anyone like myself who grew up with 8-bit computers and budget games from the local newsagents. A nice article with David Darling, who was of course the boss of Codemasters. Game Changers again, James Bond 007. A guide to Resident Evil. You see they really managed to pack a lot of the really big franchises into this magazine. I love Madden. Behind the scenes at Ghostbusters. I really enjoyed this article. I thought it was great, going right back from David Crane's original 8-bit game, which I have many happy memories of playing. First on the Spectrum, and a little bit later on the Atari 2600, which is a brilliant version of the game. Excuse me. The Sims. Interview with Tim Schafer, Double Fine, responsible for many classic adventure games. A little bit about Mega Man 2. Donkey Kong Country, one for the Nintendo fans. And that's pretty much it. And just a little advert for Retro Gamer at the back. So that's Retro Volume 8. Is it worth getting? Most definitely. You can probably see the content is very, very strong in this magazine, which more than makes it worth getting. I think the great thing is there's something in there for everyone. You know, there's Sega stuff in there, there's Atari stuff in there, there's Nintendo stuff in there, Sony, you name it. You know, PC gaming. There's just about everything in there, even stuff for the 8-bit fans. So yeah, well worth picking up. You can go get it from your local newsagents, or you can order it from the Imagine shop. I will put a link in the description below, and it costs, I should say that, shouldn't I? I think it's a tenner. No, I can't see it on the cover there. Is it on the back? It is, yeah, and I was correct, it's $9.99. So, yep, go pick it up. Well worth grabbing. And I'll be back soon with another video. Bye-bye.